Hey guys, it's Caitlin, and I'm back at you with another book-related video. I'm sorry if you don't like to read, but I do still really appreciate if you'd watch these videos because they're a lot of fun for me to make. Today's video is actually inspired by one of my newest favorite YouTubers, Avery McDonough. She doesn't have a whole ton of subscribers, but if you aren't subscribed to her, I would definitely recommend her. She posts a lot of book-related videos as well as vlogs, and I will have her linked down below in the description. You should all go check her out. But she last year did a to-be reading list video, and it was 20 books to read in 2020. And that has inspired this video, and this video is 21 books to read in 2021. So these books, I have not read any of them. I have started one, so there will be no spoilers in this video. I'm thinking at the end of every month, I'm going to be going through, telling you how many I've gotten through in the month, which ones I've liked the most, which one that I haven't. Those videos will be the ones that might have a few spoilers in them. But this one, no spoilers, because I've only started reading one of them, so I don't even know most of these books. I know the gist of them, but I don't really know exactly what they're about. These books are kind of in an order of how I'd like to read them, but I might switch it around a bit. I know that the ones that I have first, I definitely want to read first, but after that, I don't really have a total idea of what order I want to read them in. So I'm kind of just going to be like letting you know like what the gist of the book is or anything I've gathered just by reading the back of the book or the first couple pages, because when I buy books, I read the back and maybe first couple pages, and I'm like, if it sounds interesting, I'll buy it or I'll put it on my list of books to buy. So, and some of these books I've had for a while because me and reading goes in spurts, so some days I read all day and I can get through a book in like 4 days, and other times it takes me like 3 months. So I'm really gonna try to get myself into reading more and not take 3 months to finish a book, obviously, because I'm not gonna get through 21 books if I take 3 months to finish one of them. So let's just get on with the video. The first book I would like to read this year, which I've already started, I am 5 chapters into it, is the 4th book in a series by Sierra Valentino. I know that I'm saying that wrong, and there's a couple books by that author, but all the names of the books and the authors will be on the screen. So if you want to look them up, they will be on the screen. But the first book is Mistress of All Evil by Sierra Valentino, and if you watched my video last week, which you should if you haven't, it was my favorite books that I've read in 2020, and I have just started reading this series. This is the 4th book out of 7, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 7. And I've read the first 3, and this is the 4th one, and these books are they are the story, so this one is Sleeping Beauty, but they're told by the villain's point of view. But then as the villain is telling the story of the movie, there's this whole other side story, including characters which are not in the movie. I'm trying not to spoil it because I have read some of the books in this series, but so it follows them, but then there's also this side plot line and new characters that's what ties it all together and makes it a series. So I'm super excited to finish off this series. This book is really good. I'm 5 chapters into it, and I just started it a couple days ago, which is pretty bad. I should be like 10 chapters in if I started a couple days ago. Anyways, I can't wait to finish off this series. So the next 3 books that I'm going to be going through, I'm just going to show them. I'm not going to talk about them because they all follow the same premise, just with the different stories. So, next books. So, as I just said, books 2, 3, and 4 are all in this series. So the next one is Mother Knows Best. and this one follows Mother Gothel. The next one is The Odd Sisters, and this book follows the other characters that don't have their own movie, but it basically explains the whole universe and ties it all together. And then the fourth book is Evil Thing, which follows Cruella de Vil. And this book just came out, was just published this year, so it is the newest in the series. So very excited to read all of these, and I'm hoping to get through all of these by the end of February, by the beginning of February. It's like the first or second week of February. I'm hoping to have all of these books done and read, because some of them are pretty lengthy. Mistress of All Evil has like 300 pages in it, which I know for some people isn't a lot, but for me it takes me a while to get through books that long. But anyways, on to book number 5. Book number 5 is Swing by Kwame Alexander. I do not know if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, but I have read some of his other books and I really, really like them. This basically follows a kid and he's basically navigating high school and sports and music and all these other things at the same time, but I really love the way that Kwame Alexander writes his books. They're not like any other author that I've ever seen, like how he writes his books. So like they're kind of written in poems, but then they're not really poems. But I just really like how he writes, and I think it's really unique to him. So I'm really, really excited to get to read this book because I have totally loved the other ones that I've read by him. Anyways, on to the next book. Books 6, 6, and 7 are 2 shorter books compared to the other ones, but these books I've had for a while on my shelf, and when I was going through my shelf to pick out books for this video, I realized that I just really need to get through them because I bought them a while ago and they sound really fun. So the first book is When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit by Judith Kerr. Again, sorry if I'm saying that wrong on the screen. I know that I will say a lot of these wrong, so please just bear with me. But When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit by Judith Kerr. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm actually pretty interested in the Holocaust. I'm pretty sure that this book is not actually like real of somebody that was in the Holocaust, but it does follow it, and it was around that time. This book was published in 1971. So again, I'm really fascinated with the Holocaust, and this is a book on the Holocaust, so I'm really excited to get to read it, and it's not too long, so I'm hoping that I can get through it pretty quickly. Yeah, and then book 7, if that's the wrong number, it'll be on the screen. But book number 7 is again a shorter book, and it is The Summer Before Boys by Nora Raleigh Baskin. And so this book follows 2 best friends, and one of their moms has to go away for a job, and then some stuff happens, some boys get involved. That's just what I've gathered from reading the back. But it's a rather short, it's a shorter book, and so I'm excited to hopefully get through it pretty quickly and say that I've read it. So these books, very excited to read them this year. Book number 8 is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgkin Burnett, with an introduction in the book by Anne M. Martin. This book, I am not entirely sure what it's about, but I do know that one of my favorite Barbie movies is tied into this book, and I used to be obsessed with Barbie movies. I still watch them sometimes because some of them are honestly pretty good in my opinion, and this book is kind of the inspiration for one of the movies, And so I found this book at, I believe it was a Goodwill, and I picked it up and I was like, I just have to read this because it's what one of my favorite Barbie movies is based off of. But I'm really not even entirely sure what it's about. I know that it does deal with magic, and that the main character's parents have died, and now she's like got to cope with that, so it's also got grief in it. But I'm just excited to try to see what this book is about. I don't know if I'm gonna be interested in it. I'm pretty sure I will. If I'm not, I'll try to force myself into it. But this book was published in 1999. I know I'm not saying the publishing dates for all of them, but for some of them I have more to talk about, so I'll mention it. Some of the books, but this copyright date is 1999. And I really hope that I can get into this book because I kind of just picked it up knowing that I had something else that I really liked tied to it. So that's like the only reason that I picked it up. But I'm still really excited to get to read it this year. So next book. The 9th book that I hope to read this year is Love Letters to the Dead by Anna Zilaria. I'm sorry, these authors are really hard. But this book is basically, so this girl, she has had a lot of death in her life. And so she is given this English class assignment to write a letter to a dead person or somebody who's passed away. And she kind of like, she likes the feeling of it, so she starts doing it to a lot of people, but she never shows anybody any of these letters. She doesn't even turn one into her English class. And so it's really interesting because it includes all of like the actual letters and also story, and it sounds really, really interesting. I read the first couple pages of it before I bought it, but this book really, really sounds interesting. It is a little dark, I will say that, or at least it sounds a little dark, but it also sounds really good at the same time. So I'm just going to try it out. If I don't like it, you'll know in my review for it, but I think I'll like it, so I'm excited to read it. Next book, pow. The 10th book that I'd like to read this year is Lemonade Mouth by Mark Peter Hudgens. This book is what the Disney Channel movie Lemonade Mouth is based off of, and that is one of my favorite Disney Channel movies. I love Lemonade Mouth, and I actually saw another YouTuber, I can't remember who it is anymore, but she did a review of this book and explained how the movie was based off of it. If I remember her channel, I will link it down below. But this book seems really, really interesting, and it really seems like it elaborates the story a lot more. And so I'm really excited to read it. I might actually read this book before some of the other books. Again, these are kind of in an order, but not totally in an order of how I want to read them. But I'm going to try to stick kind of to the order of them in this video just for organizational purposes. But I do have these all written down on my phone, so if the order does change, you'll know that when I do updates on what I've read. But super excited to get to read this book. On to the 11th book. With the 11th book comes the start of a new series. So this is another Disney series. I've already read 2 books in this series, but these books don't have any order to them. They don't tie into each other. They're just basically all around the same thing. And I believe there's 2 authors that write all of the books in this series. There is a lot of them. This is not all of them. But again, you don't have to read them in an order. So I'm not really worried about finishing them all at the same time. But the first one that I want to read is Part of Your World by Liz Braswell. And so basically what this series does is they take the story and they make it so that what if something didn't happen. So the twist for this one, which this one is on The Little Mermaid, is what if Ariel had never defeated Ursula. So now the book is going to tell the story of The Little Mermaid, but as if Ariel had never defeated Ursula. And so I think that they're really, really interesting and they're really pretty. I have a really bad habit of buying books that I think look pretty, like the covers. But anyways, they're really pretty. And so I'm really, really excited to get to try to read this book. I think it'll be really interesting. But I think I have two or three, I think it's two, other books in this series to read this year. I still need to buy the rest of them, so I don't know when I will be finishing them, but I know that there's a lot and they constantly come out with more of them. But the first one I would like to read is Part of Your World, and then I'll get on to the other two, I believe, that I want to read that I have. 12 and 13 are in that series that I just mentioned. These two are both by the same author, but there is another author that writes some of the books for this series, I believe, because I think I have another one by her, but I've already read it. Anyways, the first one is Unbirthday by Liz Bradswell again. And, so this twist is what if Wonderland was in peril and Alice was very, very late. I got this book for Christmas this year. Go check out my What I Got for Christmas video in 2020 because this book is in there. And so that's Unbirthday and the twist. And then the other book that I have, that one is for Alice in Wonderland if you didn't catch that. But this one is A Whole New World by Liz Bradswell again. And this one is for Aladdin. And the twist for this one is what if Aladdin had never found the lamp? So this one will tell it like that. There's a lot of books in this series. There's 4 on the back of this, just on the back of this book. And I didn't even know that some of them existed. So that's great. But super excited to get to read Unbirthday and A Whole New World and get more done in that series. I hope to eventually buy more of those books, but they're mainly sold in hardback, and hardback books are expensive. So I don't know when I will get to that, but for now, on to the next book. Book 14 is The Book Jumper by, wow, this is a hard one, Mistress Glacier. I am so sorry, that's probably so wrong, but it'll be on the screen. But this book follows a girl, and she has to move in with, I believe it's her grandmother. And when she reads, she's forced to read books with her grandmother. But when she reads books, she goes into them and she can move throughout books, and she basically gets herself into the story. And I think it's a really, really cool concept. And then, so what happens is as she's going through these books, because she's being forced to read, so then she gets in them, somebody is changing things throughout the books. And so she's got to fight that at the same time. And oh my goodness, this book's also really pretty. The cover, like, just look at that. That's so pretty. But I'm really excited to get to read this book. This book has been on my shelf for like a really long time. I believe I bought it when it first came out. The publishing date on this book is 2015. So I've definitely had this book on my shelf for a very, very long time. I bought this book so long ago. But anyways, on to the next book. Books 15 and 16 are both from the same author. And also, I got some of these books from other people and from Goodwill and things, so some of them have stickers on the front, and I'm terribly sorry about that. But definitely makes them not as pretty. But it's okay. They're still books. So the first book is We All Looked Up by Tommy Walich. Probably saying that wrong. But this book follows a group of teenagers, and they were told that in 2 months the earth would like explode. Like something terrible is gonna happen to the earth. I can't remember exactly what it was. An asteroid was gonna hit Earth in 2 months. So they have 2 months to basically live their life. And they don't really know what's gonna happen after those 2 months. And I think it's such a cool concept. And oh my gosh, I'm really, really excited to read this book. I actually got this book from a friend and she said that it was really good. So I'm really excited to read this one. The next book is also by Tommy Welch, and it is Thanks for the Trouble. This book is not related to We All Looked Up, as far as I know, but this book is basically about a person, and I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl, but they haven't spoken any words in 5 years. And then another person claims to have been alive for more than 200 years. And then over one weekend, they find out why their life is actually worth living. And I believe it's a love story. And I'm a sucker for love stories. It's kind of bad. Love stories and Disney, that's like literally it. And some like mythical creatures. Love that too, and magic and stuff. But oh my gosh, this book sounds really, really good, like a really, really interesting concept, and so I'm really, really excited to read it. Anyways, before I get even more excited about this, on to the next book. Books 17 through 19 are all biographies. Some of them might be autobiographies, I'm not entirely sure, by some of my favorite gymnasts. I am a retired gymnast. I don't do it anymore, but I still take tumbling, but I still really, really love these gymnasts. I've already read one other biography by another gymnast, or I think it might have been an autobiography. I'm not entirely sure the difference. I'm so sorry. But this one, first one that I'd like to read, is Aly Raisman's autobiography, I don't know which one it is. Anyways, and it is called Fierce, and she really inspires me. She went to, I believe it was 2 different Olympics, and at the 2016 Olympics, I think it was 2016. Whoa. I'm scared that I don't know that. I think it's 2016. She came in second to Simone Biles, which is a huge accomplishment for literally anybody to come in second to Simone Biles. So this is the first one that I'd like to read. Then after that, I'd like to read Courage to Soar, Simone Biles' book. And Simone Biles, it was 2016, was the last Olympics. Simone Biles has only been to the 2016 Olympics so far. I'm pretty sure she'll go to the next one. But she is literally, oh my gosh, she is my favorite gymnast of all time, besides Laurie Hernandez. None of you probably know any of these people, but it's okay. You can listen to me talk about them anyways. She really, really, really inspires me. And so, I'm really, really excited to read this book. I've had it for a while, I just haven't gotten around to it. Then the last biography I have from a gymnast is Gabby Douglas's book, called Grace Golden Glory. She was really, really popular before Simone Biles. I think she's been to 2 Olympics, because I know she was in 2016. I don't know if she was in 2012. I don't know. I think it's 2. Don't quote me on that. Oh yeah, she's been to 2. Yes, 2 Olympics. She was the first African American to win the all-around. And I'm really, really excited to hear more about her story. I've watched the movie on her, but I have not read the book. I'm pretty sure the movie is based off of her book, though. But I'm really, really excited to read this book as the 2 others, because these people really, really inspire me. I think we have 2 books left. Let's go. The 20th book, we're almost done, is Orphan number 8 by Kim Van Alchemade. Oh my gosh, that was a hard one. but it'll be on the screen. Anyways, this book follows a girl who, I believe it's a girl, she was put into an orphanage when she was really young, and then a doctor does experiments on her, basically without anybody knowing. And then when she's older, she grows up to be a doctor and gets this doctor as a patient. So then she has to decide whether to basically take revenge on him for how he treated her, or like treat him like as a normal human, you know, kind of like just treat what he needed. And so it's inspired by a true story, and its main themes are this is what the back of the book says. Inspired by true events, Orphan number 8 is a powerful novel about the human capacity to harm and to love at the same time. And oh my gosh, I'm really excited to read this. I bought it a while ago, but I just never got around to it. Again, sorry about the sticker. I got this at a thrift store. But anyways, on to the last 21st final book, whatever you want to call it. On to the last book. Number 21 is My Diary from the Edge of the World by Jodi Lynn Anderson. That was an easy one. I've had this book for a while. I bought it, I think, around a year ago, if not longer than that. And it's really interesting concept. It is, I'm not entirely sure like what the time frame is of when it takes place, but it's got a lot of mythical creatures in it, but then it's also like a story of them like trying to stay alive in this like really crazy time. And oh my gosh, it sounds so interesting by the back. It's rather long, so I'm not going to read it. But oh my goodness, like there's mermaids and they have to battle dragons and mermaids and just all these different things, and they're just trying to stay safe. They're trying to stay alive while they have to battle all these things. And so I'm really excited to read this. I've had this for a long time, and every time I'm trying to pick out a new book, I look at it, but I haven't ever picked it up. And so this year, I'm going to read it. I'm going to get through it. I'm setting a lot of goals for myself. I'm kind of worried. But anyways, I'm really excited to read this book. And I think it'll be really good. It sounds like it's right up my alley. If only I had love in it too, then it'd be the most awesome book ever. And it might, I don't know, I haven't read it. But anyways, on to the outro. If you have made it to this point in the video, I am so proud of you. Thank you for listening to me talk for however long this is. I'm pretty sure it's a while. But I get really passionate about books, so thank you so much for watching this long. You must really like books, or me, one or the other, if you've listened to me talk about books this long. Anyways, I hope that this video was entertaining and that it inspired you of maybe some ideas for you to read this year. I'm also making this to get myself motivated to read all of these books. And like I said at the beginning of the video and throughout the video, I'm going to be doing updates every month on what books I've gotten through and which ones have been my favorite and which ones I maybe haven't liked as much. I'm really hoping that I like them all, but if I do find one that I just can't get myself into, I might put it down and try again another day, or maybe just not get through it. I really hope that I can get through all these books this year though. But check out Avery and her channel. I love her videos so much, so go check her out. And if I remember the name of that other YouTuber that I got Lemonade Mouth off of, I will also link her down below. I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but I'm gonna go double check. Anyways, see you all next Friday, because I upload every single Friday, or at least trying to. And I'll see y'all next time. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications every time I upload a video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!